What is going on, Cancer? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct again. And this is going to be your general reading for the 15th to the end of January. So this is your mid-month reading. And I decided to do Cancer first only because I put you guys last for the other reading. You were like second to last. So I'm kind of trying to scoot some people up to the front that were in the back last time and, kind of switch it up a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be your general reading, Cancer. This is a general reading, so if it does resonate with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things that let me know that you're watching the channel and it helps you in some type of way. Other than that, if it doesn't resonate with you, you can always check me out on one of my previous readings or one of my future readings that will be coming up for Cancer next month. Also, I do have personal readings open for all zodiac signs, so if you guys want to check that out, you can email me in the description that will be in the video or below the video. All right, so let's get into it. These are going to be your present energies right here, Cancer, coming into mid-month January, leading into the end of January. And then over here, we're going to touch on some of your futuristic energies that are going to touch on the end of January for you going into February. All right. So starting off up top, we have the King of Swords. So you taking on the King of Swords energy and this crowning your reading, it kind of feels to me that the Cancer is kind of taking on a no-nonsense approach. It's kind of like you're taking on a more logical approach to life, a more direct approach. The King of Swords here, is somebody who doesn't deal with his emotions that much. So with you being an emotional sign, that's kind of like out of your nature a little bit, but you're taking on a more logical approach, I believe, just in order to kind of like deal with what's happening in your life right now. And it was clarified by the 10 of Wands here. So I kind of feel that you're taking on that King of Swords energy, that no nonsense approach, more logical approach to life because of what you've been through in the past, or what you've been through in more recent times, maybe the end of 2018, or maybe the whole year of 2018. You're just kind of finishing off a cycle that was kind of burdensome to you. It kind of left a lot of weight on you. You were dealing with a lot of different things or carrying a lot of weight. You could have felt like you had the weight of the world on your shoulder. The weight of the world on your shoulder. So, now I feel like you're kind of like taking on a no-nonsense approach because you feel in order for you to drop off some of those burdens that you were carrying from the past, or some of those struggles that you were dealing with from the past, or the people or whoever it is, you feel like the only way for you to do this is to kind of shut your emotions off, kind of shut your emotions down a little bit and stop feeling as much and start thinking. So I kind of like it because it feels like you're starting to make head over heart decisions, and I think in the past you were making a lot of heart over head decisions, and maybe you kind of felt like that was burdening you or bringing you to a point where you were feeling overworked or overloaded by your emotions, because if you were leading with your heart, you could have come to a place where you got hurt a lot in the past. And you're kind of just taking on a place, at least for now. And this was kind of like that in your last reading too, where you just don't want to deal with your emotional world, And it's not that you're running away from your emotions, or you're not facing your emotional world, or dealing with maybe some hurt or pain from the past. It's just moving forward. You want to handle some things in life. It's kind of like you want to accomplish some things that you've set up for yourself this year. Accomplish some goals, and you're noticing that the only way that's going to happen is if you take on a more logical, analytical, direct approach to life, instead of doing it with your heart and your emotions, which can kind of like lead you up and down and everywhere, kind of like that emotional roller coaster. But now you're seeing that you can move a lot easier if you take on a more logical head approach and make decisions from your mind instead of from your heart. So I kind of like that, Cancer, with you moving into mid-January, right? Under that, we have the Justice card. So this could mean that it's kind of like some justice coming into you from the universe, or you're making some justice for yourself. having to do with maybe some issues from the past, because you have this Ten of Wands here, and that represents, a whole cycle that you probably could have been in, where it was a lot going on, a lot that was weighing you down, a lot that you just wasn't getting accomplished that you wanted to get it accomplished. A lot of things you just weren't seeing come into your life that you kind of wanted to have, and you felt like maybe you weren't making a lot of progress in life, where you were almost stuck. And that was because you had so much kind of weighing you down and keeping you from moving forward. Now I feel the Justice card is coming in and bringing some balance into your life, maybe because you're choosing to kind of get out of that Ten of Wands energy, that stuck energy, that burdened down energy of the past, and choosing to move forward with that King of Swords. And it's kind of like the King of Swords takes on that energy where, you stand firm in your truth, you stand firm in your stance, and you don't let things sway you. So any decisions that you're making at this time, you're making that choice from your own intuition, from your own logical mind, and you're not letting the opinion of others kind of sway you, or even your own opinion or your own emotions or feelings sway your decisions. So I kind of like that King of Swords energy that you're taking on, Cancer, because as water signs, we need that. I'm a Pisces, so I know that I have to take on a more logical approach sometimes in life, because my emotions sometimes can sway me back and forth from, making a informed decision sometimes. And so you're kind of doing that. So Justice is coming in for you, which is bringing some balance in, and the kind of balance that it's bringing in is the Death card, the transformation of that old cycle that you were in. And that's what's going to bring you out of that old cycle that you kind of was in 2018, is the fact that you're taking on that direct approach to life, that logical, analytical approach. And so it's bringing an ending into your life, because you're choosing to kind of go away from your emotional world right now. You're shutting down your emotions. You're kind of like not choosing to have your emotions be the thing that leads you through life right now. You're allowing your mind and you being able to think through a situation. You're allowing those tools that you have to lead you through life right now, which is probably needed for you right now, And that's what I kind of feel, Cancer, that justice, that balance is being brought in by the universe, and this whole transformation, is taking place because you're choosing to move from more emotional movements, more heartfelt movements, into more logical, direct, straightforward movements. And it's still you being the Cancer that you are. You still have that emotional depth that you can tap into, but you're not allowing your heart or your emotions to make your decisions for you. It's kind of like you're balancing it out now with a more logical mind, so you still will consult your emotions, you'll still consult your heart, but you're not allowing your heart to just have the say over everything now. Now you're going to be balancing it out with your logical mind. Like, does this make sense in real life? Does this make sense in reality? So I kind of feel like some of you Cancers are kind of becoming more realist, only because you've been through so many things in the past that you kind of, were looking at things through the rose-colored glasses a little bit. And that old cycle that you were in kind of woke you up to some things, and now it's kind of like you're not allowing yourself to look through those rose-colored glasses anymore. You're taking that off, and now it's like, if it doesn't make sense in reality, if it doesn't make sense in, real world, scenarios, then you're kind of going to be dismissing certain things. So some people, some things, some places, some, just events, whatever it is that you're around, you're going to kind of get dismissive a little bit, because the King of Swords energy is taking on that energy where you're kind of like dismissing certain people out of your life, or dismissing certain things that you thought that you wanted to do in life, or certain paths that you wanted to head down. You're kind of just coming to a reality, the realization of certain things that will not work for you. And you're waking up to it, and you're like, okay, I see that this path works out better for me. I'm going to go down this path. So all that has to do with this transformation that's happening, because that King of Swords energy that you're taking on is bringing on a more precise movement that you're making. It's kind of like a more directness that you have inside of your energy right now, and you're starting to see exactly what you have to do, exactly what you want, exactly where you want to go, exactly what's needed. You know, it's a more sword energy that you're taking on. You know, you're cutting through all the BS at the end of the day. You know, all the stuff that just doesn't make sense, that clouds your judgment, that makes you, you know, kind of be in a more visionary, dreamy state. You know, instead of being in a more just down, grounded state, you're cutting out all that stuff. And that's what's happening in this transformation. Why you have the transformation card with the justice card, because that is what is transforming about you. You know, you being in that emotional state and now switching over to a more analytical, logical state. Right? So right next to that, we have the Three of Wands. So Three of Wands usually represents you waiting for some things to come in, you waiting for your ships to come in, you waiting for your harvest to come in, your abundance to come in, all the things that you kind of worked for. You wanting to just kind of like, you know, indulge in those things that you know are coming your way. And with it being clarified by the Six of Swords, I think that, you know, you're moving away from certain things in the past, and it's kind of just like we were just talking about. You're moving away from that old way of thinking, because the Six of Swords represents a way of being that has to do with your thoughts, you know, and you could have been in a place where it was a lot of turmoil going on within your thoughts. You know, it wasn't a lot of clarity that was happening with your thinking, and that was only because I think you had a lot of emotions that were mixed in with your thinking. And with you kind of like cutting off the power of your emotions, or just putting them to a place where they're supposed to be, where they don't overpower you, you're starting to see some things more clearer, and it's making you move away from an old way of being. That old way of being, you know, no longer can get you in a place where you're, you know, feeling burdened or confused by your thinking or your emotions. And because of that, you know, you're going to have some new things coming into your life, some new ambitions and goals that you want to pursue, maybe that you could have been thinking about for a while now, but you let maybe your emotions get in the way, your emotional life, maybe your love life, whatever it could have been, you let those different things get in the way of you pursuing certain paths, you know, certain goals, certain things you wanted to build. But because you're moving on past that way of being, you're now starting to see some things clearly in your future, and some things you want to bring into your reality. You're focusing on that. So I like that, Cancer. Right next to that, you have the Ace of Swords that clarified the Three of Cups. So Three of Cups right here could be you celebrating the fact that, you know, you're having this change, you're having this transformation, you know, you have this ending of a cycle and a new beginning of another cycle. You know, you could just be celebrating among yourself, you know, or among friends. But with this King of Swords energy, I feel like you could be in a place where you're just wanting to just do some things on your own, maybe, because the King of Swords is just like, I'm not hearing it. He doesn't want to be bothered with anybody else's opinions, you know. So you could be celebrating around other people, because the Three of Cups, you know, represents that. But also you could just be celebrating within yourself that you have come to this new place, because it's being clarified by the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords represents a new beginning in your thought. You know, the evolution of your mind, like a new level of thinking, your ego being evolved, you know, the way that you think, the way you use your thoughts as tools to kind of like consult and give you advice. You know, it's kind of like a more clarity of mind that's coming in right now. So you could be really celebrating that you're getting clear on a lot of things in your life that you were not clear on in the past, right? So that clarity could be coming in, and you could be like, okay, I'm glad. Like, I feel that now I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly how I need to move. I'm making these movements. I don't care what the people around me are doing. You know, I'm celebrating the fact that I have this new moment of clarity, right? Kind of like that Jay-Z song, that moment of clarity. That might be a good one for y'all to listen to right now. But when you get that new moment of clarity, it's like you can move forward so quickly. You know, a lot of people usually do celebrate the fact that they get a clarity of mind, or they get a clarity of vision. So for you, that's what's happening. You're choosing to transform a way of being that you've been in the past, that just wasn't giving you a lot of movement in your life. And I think it's because you were tied down with a lot of, heavy, deep emotions, like a lot of water signs usually are. But you have learned how to transmute that energy into more energy that is, conductive or, conducive to what you actually want to accomplish in life. And you're learning now to balance it out with your thoughts, because I see a lot of swords here and not a lot of water, right? So you have a lot of sword energy, which means that you're balancing out your emotions with your thoughts now. You're using the checks and balances that we're supposed to have internally to have another, a level of balance when it comes down to you carrying yourself and moving through life and, your everyday living. You can kind of like have a more proficient way of being and moving, because you have like the checks and balances happening right now between your thoughts and your emotions, between your head and your heart. And I see another level of balance that's happening for you guys. Right below that, we have the Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups could represent an emotional offer that could be coming in. Either you could be wanting to make an offer to somebody else who is a fire sign, because we have the Knight of Wands here. It could be that, or it could be somebody coming in wanting to make an offer to you. A fire sign coming in wanting to make an offer to you because you are the water sign. So for some of you guys, that could be the thing that's happening maybe after you have had this whole transformation, this whole new moment of clarity. You're taking on a more logical approach to life. You could have someone that you have your eyes set on that is a fire sign that you kind of want to move towards too. Maybe this is a new person, because I think you're wrapping up some things in the past that could have been dealing with maybe an older person from the past, or maybe just wrapping up some things within yourself that, was keeping you from being able to make some type of emotional offer to somebody. But for some of you guys, you could be dealing with a fire sign, this Knight of Wands, somebody who's passionate, somebody who, comes in very quick. They get right to the point. If that's not somebody you're dealing with, then you could be taking on this energy and wanting to make an emotional offer that is passionate also. But for a lot of you guys, I think you could just be dealing with a fire sign. A fire sign could be coming in, or you could be wanting to go and make an offer to a fire sign. If it's not a new person, then it could be somebody from the past also, because I'm feeling that energy too. But with you guys having like the King of Swords at the top of your reading, either you're taking on a King of Swords approach to somebody from the past, and you're looking forward to new beginnings with someone in the future, and you could be running into a fire sign, or you could just be becoming emotional about the things that you want to pursue. You're using your emotions to fuel you and take you into something that you want to build for your future when it comes down to, monetary things, or you just gaining stability in your life. Because a lot of you Cancers, I think, in 2019 are focused on kind of, having that material world balanced out and building something for yourself. So, but maybe in between that, you could be wanting to make an offer to that fire sign, So yeah, I'm feeling that for some of you guys. So let's see what's happening with your future energies. This will be the energies wrapping up the end of January and going into February. So we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Four of Swords, and then we have the Seven of Wands, right? So King of Pentacles here. So towards the future, I think, like I was saying before, you guys are focusing on your material wealth. You could be taking on the King of Pentacles energy where, you are moving into a place of stability, a place where you can be the provider. You could be someone that's bringing the money into the family. You're focusing on building your material wealth, your empire for yourself, those multiple streams of income, that career, that job that is going to pay the big bucks, to where you're feeling like the ruler, the king, the provider. That's what some of you guys could be focusing on. And I think, you're going to have some success in those areas of your financial stability, because we have the Star card here that is clarifying the King of Pentacles. So the Star card always represents some type of success that's coming in. You know, you being the person that's shining, you being the person that's getting the recognition, the person that's standing out above the bunch. You know, and the Star card usually represents the rewards you get from the universe for surviving some type of crazy cycle, you know, hard cycle like you were in before with this 10 of wands right here. That represents a wrap-up of a cycle that was not the easiest cycle at all. It was kind of very troublesome, and it had a lot to do with, you know, making you transform into another way of being, right? About a new transformation. But now moving forward with the things that you're thinking of investing in, and you know, when it comes down to your finances, you're going to see some type of rewards coming in, some karmic blessings that are coming in from the universe, you know, because you're choosing to move forward into building something for yourself after you've been through so much. So I kind of like that. Right below that, you have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is representing you just kind of feeling stuck in your mind a little bit about something. It's clarified with the Two of Swords. So this could be a decision that you're probably needing to make. Maybe it's a decision between two different paths or two different people. Maybe moving forward into the future, and you're kind of like feeling stuck a little bit of that in your future energies. So maybe coming up in the end of January or coming into the beginning of February, you could be kind of feeling stuck a little bit. But it's always just in our thoughts right here, because you do have a lot of mental energy that is coming in and a lot of clarity that's coming in too. So maybe going into the end of January, you could just be wrestling with these future energies and past energies, just making that differentiation between the old you and the new you, you know. You just finding that perfect balance within yourself, because you are moving into a more analytical, logical approach in life, and you're kind of like shedding off some of the emotional states that you kind of used to be in that used to weigh you down. So that could have you stuck in your head a little bit, because these are transformative energies that are taking place within you, you know. This Two of Swords here, and these two people that are on the card, they kind of make me think about your two different, you know, sides that you have, the dual natures, and you just finding balance between the two, which could have anybody kind of like stuck in their head a little bit, because it's kind of like an inner war that happens between the two sides, the yin and the yang, you know, the mind and the heart. You know, like I was talking about earlier, and you finding balance between the both, you have to kind of marry both of those. And so in this process, it could have you stuck a little bit while you find that balance, because you have a new side of you emerging, you know, and the old side could still be trying to kind of like be the one that's mostly in control, which that is your emotional side. But the emotional side of you has to share the mental side of you, and you have to have perfect balance between the two in order for you to be able to move forward in a more balanced way. That's what the Chariot card represents, which is not here, but this is what makes me think about it. You know, you finding that balance to move forward more efficiently, you know, between your two dual natures. So right below that, we have the Four of Swords. So I think with you kind of having that mental stuckness, you feeling like stuck in your mind a little bit, that Eight of Swords is going to bring you to a place where you kind of just want to rest, you know, you want to chill out a little bit. So towards the end of January, you could just find yourself maybe just taking a load off, kind of resting, sitting back, getting in a more relaxed place to just kind of reflect. This Four of Swords to me represents a reflection. So you're kind of doing some reflection, I think, about your future, and allowing, you know, your mind to settle a little bit with this new transformation, this new way of being that's happening within you, Cancer. And while you're doing that, you're reflecting on what you want to manifest in the future, like exactly what it is that you want, because you know you're heading somewhere new. You know, you've wrapped up, you know, an old cycle, an old way of being, and now You want to understand exactly what it is that you're trying to create, that you want to bring into this reality. And you have all the tools, available to your, to your disposal. And you're just, kind of reflecting on what it is that you want to bring into your reality, because the magician has it all. And the magician understands, as above, so below, and the law of attraction. Whatever you believe that you can have, whatever you feel that you already have, that's what you will attract to you. And so you're just trying to figure out exactly, specifically what it is that you want to bring in, which I believe you're going to know soon, because you're getting this new level of clarity, like I was saying before, that's coming in for you. All right, so right below that we have the Seven of Wands here. And this could be you just taking on an approach after you go through that reflection of you defending what it is that you want to bring into this world, what it is you want to manifest, which is why it's clarified by the Ace of Wands, which represents a new beginning in your passions, a new beginning in your passionate pursuits, what it is that you want to go after, what you want to build, what you want to pursue passionately, whether that's anything from dancing, writing, speaking, teaching, anything that it is that you want is something new that's happening. And your focus is now wanting to go towards it, and you want to defend it also. This new project, this new way of being, this new thing that you want to pursue, this is like a pursuit. Maybe it could have to do with your life path, your as you reflect it, and you get into the state of kind of like chilling out a little bit and thinking about what you want to bring into the world. After you get it, it's like now you want to go after it, and you could be on guard a little bit, because maybe you could have some people around you that usually talk you out of stuff, or maybe that could just be going on within yourself. Like you usually talk yourself about doing something, starting something new, passionately pursuing something. And now you kind of are taking on a more approach within yourself, like, nah, I'm not going to let myself talk me out of this anymore. I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to fight for this new beginning, for this new dream, this new path, this new project, And I like that, Cancer. Is kind of like everything that all these cards speak about are you taking a strong, firm stance moving forward. Even if you have a little hiccups of maybe being stuck a little bit inside your mind, is only because that you're bringing in something brand new. You're manifesting something brand new for your life, and you want to defend it and fight for it. So I like the energy that you're taking on, Cancer. You're taking on a lot of more mental and passionate energy at the same time, fire energy. Wand energy, along with sword and mental energy. So that's a perfect balance to, to balance out the strong cup and emotional energy that you guys have, Cancer. So yeah, good luck with that. I'm going to go ahead and end the reading right there. Cancer, I hope you guys enjoyed that, definitely. And we're going to be checking back in for the month of February, so we can check in and see what the energies are doing. Enjoy the new lunar eclipse that'll be hitting us, I think around the 19th or 20th, something like that. That may bring in some definite new energies. I think that's what's going to be bringing this transformation for you guys for mid-January. And then from there, it's just full speed ahead, Cancer. So yeah, if this resonated with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things that let me know that you guys watched and you liked it. And also, if you want to get a more in-depth direct experience with me, you guys can book a personal reading, and I'll show you guys what we do next after you email me. All right, later.